but look at how they're playing their post plans as well. They're setting up forward here. Zelsis has a molly off his teammates' contact, and then they're ping-ponging off each other to take that fight together. This is another round where once they get into post plan, they're going for these executes with the double dive between TenZ and Zekken, which always looks incredible. And again, look, Zekken has a nade primed, ready to go towards heaven. They have so many layers to these post plans, and really it seems to every stage of this map.
Sorry, yeah, sorry, just caught my breath for a second there. I think as well, Loud, yeah, just an inability to really throw them off. Their game, right? There was no pressure towards the back line, the weaker extremity. He's ahead of some of these executes coming in. Unfortunately, Loud just didn't really get a look in. And with the way SEN have been playing and how well drilled things are, if you let this Sentinels execute on you, you're losing time and time again.
Yeah, and I want to shout out to the fragging IGL on the other side too for Sentinels. John QT, take a look at this. A Hyper X reflex. I felt like every round when he was still alive, maybe something magical was going to happen.
I mean, this was after Cowan got a 4K, almost gets the ace in this round, and then John just plays the clutch to perfection. He's not always the flashiest player, but when you put him in a position he needs to step up, he seemingly always does, Mike.
Yeah, he does, and looked absolutely ice cold afterwards as well. Giving him a wave to close out the half. It's heartbreaking to see Loud lose rounds like this, but like I said, with the individuals on Sentinels, not even Zekken and TenZ, in scenarios like this, stepping up, this is the plan B. How scary is that for every other team?
I mean, everything is just coming together beautifully for them, but the job is not done. The job is not done just yet. They are one map up, but let's throw it down and hear what Loud's coach STK has to say ahead of Icebox.
Welcome back, Mika Fabs here, now with... Welcome back, Mika Fabs here, now with STK of Loud. And now that was a very tough first map. What was the team struggling with the most, and how do you guys plan to remedy that going into Icebox?
I think that we entered in the game with a game plan. This game plan didn't work. Unfortunately, they adapted themselves, so they have like a lot of merit on that. So on Icebox, we have we are more comfortable on the map. Like we have more plays on this map. So I think that's about this. Reset about the first map that anything went good, and go for with our full power right now.
Well, Loud is a team that you can't ever count, so let's see if they're able to bounce back on Icebox.
Exactly, Mika. Well put. But the thing is, Mimi, what are Loud's game plans for Icebox? What do they do?
So they play this Harbor Viper comp that they've been playing for a while, but they execute on it really well. Last time they played, the thing that impressed me the most was their protocols in plant denial and retakes. They're very good at kind of timing how they're using their mollies to delay their opponent's plant, then going for these flood retakes that with the Harbor Viper are really effective. This is a map where I think you get to see the experience, the fundamentals of Loud on full display. They've played this comp for a while. They've a lot of variations of how they want to set up with it, especially on this defensive side. This is the comfort zone for the Brazilians.
Comfort? I don't know. Call me a doubter, whatever. Okay. I think, obviously, this being the anomaly of the grand finals for me is a very, very close-fought affair, a 13-11 scoreline regionally, but I don't feel like we're getting the same Loud here. Other than, obviously, the EG series apart, I don't think really Loud are in a position today to throw SEN off their game that much. Obviously, previously, Les has been the standout individual for Loud on Icebox, but I don't know, I just don't get it.
See, that's the thing though, I agree with what you said. This is still, I think, a map they are very comfortable on, but Sentinels is also so good at it. They run a very different comp. They're playing this KO, Gecko, and I actually think that can play into this Harbor Viper quite well. You can be fighting through the walls, fighting through the smokes, combining those two pieces of utility, and Zekken just looks unreal whenever he gets to play the Jet on this map.
Well, this is the thing. Last time they faced each other, Mike, Sentinels did come out on top. You think history is repeating itself?
I feel, yeah, we were talking about this before. We were talking about, yeah, it's going to be a long, drawn-out affair here. I think with that start, it's just so hard. Loud one-on-ones time and time again, we say they're never out of a series. They're never out of a map. I'm just not seeing it again today. It's another concerning look at, you know, and obviously, I mean, even there with the interview there, talking about the adaptations that SEN made, I don't feel like they made an awful lot. Loud had no approach to really disrupt Sentinel's gameplay that they've demonstrated time and time again on Split.
Sentinels, they do look so good, but you guys at home voted and you think that this is going to go the distance, and I have faith in the MasterCard fan poll. But the question is, Bren and Saisho, do you guys have faith in Loud?
I mean, I'm praying. I'm on my knees here praying. So I'm not going to lie. I want a close game. I want something that's not going to be so lopsided between these two teams. We can certainly hope so. You know, the last time these two teams tackled each other on Icebox, it was Loud who got the better of them. Both of these teams have very, very good fundamentally attack sides with their comps. They are very well drilled in that regard, but I want to see some fight back now from Loud.
I actually think that SEN's composition is extraordinarily good against Louds too. It's just that SEN haven't worked on this map as much as some of the others in their pool. And if they've used this time accurately, then maybe they can come out with another incredible map win. That's not going to help. Sassy going down there at the start of the round. You know, he's a really important piece of the puzzle in terms of getting the plants down.
It's a massive one with less going for that early face, that early peak.
And Loud expect this to be a re-hit. And they won't really know otherwise until the alarm bot takes contact. And at that point, it's kind of too late. Sadak doesn't have nanoswarms to deny. So just gambling the wrong way here.
Sadak, flash through, who's playing anti. Where's the follow-up? There is none. Just rips away to it, and Frenzy in his hands. There's a backside position being played here. Dash fading away, but Second still standing his ground that he's earned himself. Dart dodged. Another play being set up as well. It tends with a pop flash into the peak. It allows Zekken to recross back, playing together now, but they've got 4 players to deal with. Make it 3. Can't let this one slip now, Loud. Shot Dart. It's good for the damage. Tens be forced out wide. Tens! You can't be getting away with this, son! Surely not need. Doesn't even matter. Sadak pushed forwards. That's a 2v4.
That's ridiculous. The push into Sadak there to give Sadak 2 kills was about the only way that SEN could have messed up what was happening. Not that it's their fault. They didn't know where exactly he was positioned. But for Tens to recover that, he's forced to take that duel there as he crosses back. Yeah, he's forced to take fights because of their utility, because of how they're positioned.
Who are they peeking? Who are they peeking?
Give it to him, man. Oh my God.
I mean, the players on Loud are so talented, and Tens is just owning them.
You man, return to form.
His form has been spectacular in basically all of this year.
Yeah.
The actual shots that Tens has been hitting, the moments the multi-kills from him have been unbelievable sometimes. When he's not forced to be the entry player, to have all of that extra mental bandwidth being taxed, the rifling's just been superb.
Player's going to be dropping plan online here for Sassy.
Now look at this high tide. It's not going to have an influence in this round, but I do like how Loud are using it. They throw it out from 2Es when he's playing over towards Snowman, and it's going to let them play between the Viper Wall and the high tide to break the wingman, to deny the plant, to fight more aggressively. I think that could be crucial once we get onto some of the rifle rounds, but there is no danger here. SEN have just taken a very clean B exec.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Tens, he should be trying to hunt. Yeah, you see him swap the weapon.
Yeah. Offloading it in exchange there. Does want to go hunting. 2 years. Top of the bridge brings him down. Still 1 step closer.
Yeah, it's a fairly important denial though. If Tens had access to that ult at the start of the round, things would get quite difficult for Loud. The attack side on Icebox can be very potent. And the thing is, Loud's composition doesn't actually have great ways of disrupting you when you go for that. It doesn't have the ability to, you know, flash re-peek from yellow or on pipes on A, that kind of thing, which teams like Gen G have done so much work integrating those micro plays on the defense.
A little bit of proactive fighting over.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why we saw the attack side be so good for both of these teams, is that SEN hadn't really built out those defensive plays, and Loud's comp, it kind of relies on playing retake, which is easier to deny.
Looks like the purpose of that Dizzy is just to spot if a player is aggressive up through B, but the Cascade blocks it anyway. Don't know if that's even been noted. I mean, bonus round here for SEN, all grouped up.
And not really an opportunity here for TenZ to be able to get the ult online, I don't think. Instead, looking more like a standard A exec. Now, TenZ is getting in position for this flash Dizzy combo that Gen G were using. It's so good.
Yeah, choose to break it. You're going to be staying right into the sun. The flash goes off. Plan. Now here for Sassy. Util a little bit delayed. So yep, it's down, close to the quarters. Down underneath rafters. Kawazine wins his one out versus second. Still, gets to the position for it. And TenZ is starting to use his ult now for this. Making sure that they can't use any of that post-plant Util. Keen and eager to take the fight. He's ripped Kawazine's head clean off. Over the top of the ropes, this is a real dangerous situation and scenario. Flash, peek from the rest of his team, sets them up, but no real casualties. Now QCK finally, abilities back online. Dash, backing away, gets the one. Needs to clear the corner here, but he's just really struggling. Wading out wide here. Having a defuse from Sadek, pushed back and away. And a wide tip tap and a face there from the Loud players remaining just in time.
Very nice patience there from Loud. Didn't get caught by the flash re-clear, but I can see that SEN are starting to add more stuff into their playbook. I mean, that flash Dizzy combo is so good. The pathing that the Dizzy takes and the way that the flash pops catches so much of the area. And Loud had to wait a long time to get their high tide and the cove back online, and then played with each other really well to stop some of this momentum from SEN.
Calm the mollies. We really need to calm the mollies.
Okay, there we go. Zekken looking for a readjustment early. And these players are smart. They understand what the issues are. Kaplan's talked about it so much.
Potential off the charts here, but clear understanding of what is really going wrong for them. Knife not broken. Tags onto 2.
Yeah, that's going to create a serious threat, though. See how 2E's is using his high tide to make it difficult for SEN to clear out that area, unless he's pushing up on the other wing of the map.
He's got walkabouts. Overstep himself, waiting for the high tide to now fade. He's going to be using again. Flash Dizzy, dash forwards from Zekken. Make sure to clear all that space. If somebody was holding that aggressively, it would have been mince meat. But now, once they've gained control of B main, what's going to be the call? Maybe to go back into Zelsis?
Yeah, I mean, they either needed to hit B quickly there or go back over towards A, because if they wait enough time for 2E's high tide to come back, which it now is, it's much more difficult to get the plant down and get Sassy his ult. Drone is going to confirm, I think, that a lot of these players have left the area. Does it catch? Oh, yeah, just onto Zekken.
Zekken looking like the fox in the pen, but with him notified now, he's really just caught.
He is, but he's going to be distracting and pulling people away for quite a while.
He's got 3 on him. And here we go. Coming through there. Dizzy firing a blind shot off, but it actually didn't trigger onto Les. Nano Swarm.
That's so much damage.
My God, yeah. TenZ lucky to be alive, facing top rafters Sadak. Taken out cleanly. Now TenZ is going to be playing a 4 position here because he is so low. Might be able to get a 1 and done.
And Sassy, with that ult plant, Wingman got the Thrash online.
Need somebody to break that dart for him though, and there wasn't anybody really waiting available, but still, like you said, the Thrash is now online. Sassy lets it loose, the movement, clean, jiggling with it. Entertainment, not quite online here. Now a bit of pace injected back into the thing. See it Loud, using that util. All available for them, but it's a crossfire setup of Sentinels, and they punish that swing and wide face out. Great with the movement and patience with the aim. Cooling down the weaponry enough to take out QCK. Over on the top of the ropes, Zelsis, he's hungry for this kill. He's hungry for it. Building up towards it, but okay, Les just a better player on the day.
But a sad situation for him to be in. He was the player pushed the furthest forward on A, last to fall. Everybody crumbling around him. I just want to go back a little bit to the communication from the previous round. SEN were calming, or Zekken specifically was saying, calm the mollies. And the reason that's so important in this composition is because players need to be able to hide. Players need to be able to hide and not have to face and break cove and fight while the mollies are online. Yeah. They need to force Loud to bring the fight to them if the spike is safe. And so getting that timing correct is really important against what Loud have.
Weaker money here, QCK, 3K in the bank. Looks like he's trying to save the operator, but for now the Sheriff will have to do, and it will. Sassy, dusted, taken the hell out. Deep Knife clears yellow, but really, they've got nothing to try and cross and take control of B main here. Just putting that emphasis here towards the section, vacuuming up the orbs to defend this gun as well.
Loud are looking for information. SEN have been mixing up whether they rotate, whether they re-hit, and you can see Loud here just trying to figure out, is it correct to stack onto B? QCK looking to explore through mid. They think it's a re-hit. They're keeping players on this site.
Might be some serious danger here. I mean, 2Years just holding onto the high-tide's wall. There, flasher into the back. Dart, oh my. They knew exactly the position that was coming from, so Kawasi didn't really stand a chance up with the armor. Draft dashing away. Second survives. Flank attempt from QCK. Oh my goodness.
Has anyone heard that? TenZ is watching, but
TenZ was watching.
They're going to get distracted.
They are distracted. Now the pressure really being applied. It's less here, and QCK for the cleanup. John QT. He's there with a trade, but 1 versus 3 now. Diffuse online for 2Years. Not going to be pushed away from this one. There's no more utility left available for them. So a thrifty round for Loud. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, that is just in time. What we saw on Split was the economy just getting ruined for Loud over and over. They could never build up a bank to work with. They're going to call a timeout after winning this round as well, which is a bit bizarre. Maybe the timeout...
Probably queued a little bit earlier.
Yeah, probably queued before they won the round. Yeah. But QCK opened this up with a beautiful Sheriff shot and then closed the entire thing too. The Cloudburst to make sure that nobody caught him getting past the alarm bot. And often that kind of thing is going to get heard. But in this situation, gets away with it.
Like John QT was mentioning, it's the tiny things, the tiny differences, the minutiae to watch for.
Yeah, and also QCK being able to give them the confidence to stay on B by taking that mid-round timing and taking the risk to re-explore through mid. And it is a risk, you know, he's only one man in that kind of situation. So now what allowed looking to readjust? Can they take any lessons from winning that round? I think one of them would be, you know, trying to fight before SEN have utility setups, because QCK was able to manage that. And he's looked fairly good in the games of Icebox that they've played, despite people doubting his jet ability. And the other big takeaway, I think, from that is trying to look for mid-round information so your stacks are correct.
Maybe might see some signs of that proactivity from Loud being called. Like I said, just trying to gather, gain some of that mid-round information, but the comp isn't really too suited for it. I mean, you've only got the Sova as your initiator.
Yeah, you really have to do it by pushing into areas. And again, you don't really have the ability to flash re-clear spots on defense, so it can be very tough. You kind of have to double up, triple up, walk areas. And that's got its own danger. So both teams on opposite sides of the map here to start this next round. 4 players grouped up on defense on A, just pushing QCK into an aggressive angle.
I mean, this is excellent for him.
Yeah, but I mean, SEN are nowhere near.
Still, he's going to be telling his team to over-rotate. Get your asses into mid, get your asses into gear, because it's leaning over towards a B hit.
Yeah, and Loud have actually finessed this. Lovely. I mean, they've managed to get into a position where SEN weren't comfortable going for the early round timing, and now Loud have stacked it for the mid-round timing. And on top of that, QCK's watching in case things rotate back towards A.
He's in a really good spot. Drone. Oh, maybe just catching tail end of somebody.
I think they've got all the info they need, though.
Yeah, they have. With QCK pushed up deep like this, and look at it, you can just tell from the stack. Already protocols in play. Molly forward, Zekin just tanks it. Half his HP just removed, but they weren't expecting it. Still, Loud with all the kills. 2 versus 3. Sassy almost being taken out. Has to back his way to safety here. Fast flank of QCK. Might be causing some issues a little bit later into things. Now he's going to be notifying his presence, at least with the removal of that turret attack from Sadak. He's hoping that forces them out wide. Don't know if they took a glimpse of that one. Still 10 HP. Leave it just to Zelsis. Kova. There's no real chances here. There's no real chances. Maybe managed to get the second, but no. Full stick there from Sadak.
I think Loud's defense on B looks way better than their defense on A, personally. Especially coming out of the Loud Gen G game, that was my big takeaway. I think Loud's protocols for dealing with B hits like this are actually real nice. Yeah, they missed Zekin, but they keep good snowman control. They fight from kitchen. They have good crossfires on people. Look at how Sadak, playing around orange, is able to pick up Zekin. I think SEN should be quite cautious if they're sending B hits over and over and over. the A side of the map does look more of a weakness for Loud. They tend to play it for retake more often. The Flash Dizzy combo on A is just more powerful in my opinion. And SEN are going to have opportunities then to fight aggressive in the post plant to stop Loud coming back in for the retake. I think you're definitely seeing that there are many more opportunities for Loud to get wins here on Icebox than we saw on Split. Right? Split from SEN is perfection, but not every map is up to that kind of caliber. And Loud are finding those ways of stopping SEN going for these hits. Now they've knocked the economy in the other direction. Did SEN even have a single eco round on Split? I don't think they did.
Feel like it.
They won the pistol both times, and then they just dominated the game. So I think this might be their first one.
Drop down to it. A couple of decisions to be made here because they do have money for potential investment of one rifle or so. Looks like John QT is the one who's bought that one up. Might get sold, but it looks like they should have money to spare if it goes poorly. And whatever's been called, we're probably not going to be seeing signs of it just yet. Not in this round with the weaker guns, but you know, SEN might start playing towards some of the orbs, try and earn up some big ults. Celsius will probably earn his after he goes down to a player.
And look at Loud setting up the same kind of thing. 4 players A at the beginning to post up some... Oh.
QCK messed that up, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say to post somebody up really deep so they have good information. And yet, that 4-player stack now just has to kind of chill and reset. But SEN are not going for anything too aggressive at the beginning of the round. They're worried. As soon as 2Es puts up this high tide, it makes it feel like there's many players ready to fight B. Even though we can see it was only 2Es at home.
One Dizzy clearing away. Sassy on away now from the ult. Knife being broken. Loud should have the protocols for this, but still Zekken with knives is a very dangerous target. Tagged up by the drone. Has to respect it now. Has to back away. Zelsis dropped on the other section of the map, the other side of things. Still with that plant down.
They're pitting.
They are going to be pitting, committing into this
3v5.
one. This is interesting. I mean, even though the money is a little bit wild still, now the lockdown being invested. I mean, that is absolutely crazy stuff still. Maybe feeling like it's necessary now. John QT getting into this spot and this position on top of it. Can't break it down, so detained and dealt with. Big committed with the ultimates here on either side, but it's Loud win it out. 4 players surviving.
Yeah, I think both ults that were used there probably should have been saved for another round, but the problem is the kills came through so quick, so close to the ults being invested. I think John didn't quite realize that he was in such a player disadvantaged situation when he decided to pit. And likewise with Sadak just deciding to send that one. Make sure that they get the streak online. So now we go into a rifle round. Zelsis ultimate, super powerful. If they can get up onto pipes.
And this should be the round what the timeout was scored for at least. Adjustments there with a deep knife. Now very heavy emphasis and presence being shown by SEN. Sassy. Thrash movement. Looking elite. Looking to clear out the side as well for the rest of his team. Look at that. Skipping and hopping over around the side. Cowers it. He's been caught. Do they want to dive and dash onto this one? Now Sadak is his bodyguard. Doesn't... Sentinels over.
Has a wallbang angle here.
Yeah, it's a wallbang angle with a pit drop down on top of it. Lockdown though should push him out of position. Potentially it to clear, but Les might just go down with a ship. He might just opt to getting detained. QCK is wrapped all the way behind him, and yeah, he will get detained just so that this pit stays up, but he's spammed onto the top right of his position. Dropping down. Crucial kill here onto the flanks. Elsis cleans that one up, so no gaps now left into the play. Hunter's Fury offloaded. Really just going to be utilized to try and push at these players from Loud into these forward positions. And they have managed to even it up ever so slightly, but still a player disadvantage. Molly, we're waiting for it to fade with Mosh down now. Dizzy on top of it with the Cove. Now stacking up all together. Post-plant utility should be good enough here for Sentinels. Now players realize it. They're the ones who have to make the moves forwards. Kawazine, and 2Es.
Oh, nice.
That is just disgusting.
That looked like a checkmate situation. SEN were running out of post-plant utility, sure, but they still had a crossfire from 3 different areas that they could have set up.
There's no way.
And yet through the high tide, through 2Es' util, Kawazine, the hero for Loud in map 1, though the efforts didn't get him anywhere. This time putting rounds on the board. Yeah, Kaplan's going to be annoyed about that, but I don't really think that SEN misplayed it too much. Kawazine just hit some really nice counter spam through the high tide, and then got a sick shot on a jump peak.
Sometimes it be like that. for Loud. Only creeping forwards with this lead here.
Yeah, look at how mobile they are with QCK's positioning. He gets another one. That's excellent.
Yeah, okay.
They play him over towards A. Last round he walked down Tube. This time he's over towards B. So difficult to predict.
Middle though with an no command. Plant. Oh, hello. Counter spam. Kawazine dropped. Still have to worry about this operator.
That was actually through mid.
That was way! He skewered them! Ten's dropped to his knees. There's no chance in hell he's being picked up. And now, plenty of time and space brought for the rest of these Loud boys to really get into the action. Auxiliaries are here. Wide face by Zelsis. Traded though. Dropped down. And John QT again isolated in this 1 versus 2 position. Familiar scenes for him. The reload surely going to be heard. And yes, Les is very quick onto the angle with the punish.
What a round from QCK. Very similar to the Thrifty that got them started on this map. Takes an early angle, hits the shot, and then he's there to punish. This is now 5 in a row for Loud to really get the gears going.
I was talking about the attack side. Nice these been good, but I mean, so far it's clearly Loud are the ones who have stepped up. Won't go quietly into the night. That is a disgusting shot. Is that QCK with his op?
Zekin's Achilles heel.
Yeah. Barely tagging onto him.
So Loud, they have found something that's worked, which is QCK's op, and now they've given it to Kawazine.
Just to mix it up. If QCK gets spotted now, still, he's rattled off the shots. Ended up using the dash. Where has that kill come from? I mean, Les, this is pushed up on literally the same as what he did in the pistol round. I mean, he went for this aggressive push on that initial round, man. He's taking matters into his own hands. Does not care. Worth a damn! 3 fall.
What a beautiful bait and switch setup from Kawazine and Les as well. Such an unusual one with the Sova opping.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a Loud that is very, very angry.
Yeah.
Pod and poke the bear.
And frankly, it wasn't necessary for Les to go and do that. When they've already won 5 rounds in a row and the game plan's working, does Les need to force those fights and take the 1v1s? No, but he's Les. He's Les. He does just have these moments where he decides to take over a game. And he's been pushing up on A, looking for that duel, but Zelsis has not been giving it to him. If they're B defaulting and they leave Zelsis with the Killjoy utility on A, Zelsis plays it really safe. And John just took a jiggle there and decided he liked the idea of stepping up. I don't know why you would. 12 and 3 less.
This guy, I mean, he gets sorely underestimated by a variety of people coming into it. I mean, he doesn't play the most flashy roles, but you can't deny his individual talent, his skill.
And now SEN on a weird buy, looking like they want to just set up for that default A hit. Get Tens up over on 2 pipes, where he's got that flash angle.
Turret broken in mid.
Oh, the flash.
To this.
Actually, not in the right spot.
Really deep flash now. I mean, Les decided to take the re-peek. Dizzy shot fired straight into the wall there. Zekin wins it out though. Molly's dealt with. Accounted for. Now you're going to see it. The Reckoning pressing forwards with the advantage that they've got. Loud, not giving up any space. They want to take it right back away from them. And already you can see it, that deep position. The weaker guns and weaponry still. Maybe SEN could make something of it. Again, the triangle of death set up. This time though, Thrash taking that first contact. Zelsis winning that fight. The adjustment and snap to the side. And retaking now with this operator just becomes a dire situation. And Zelsis is running a mockery over them. Taking liberties when he's on low HP. Because why not? He can do it. Not planted for Sassy. Tapping. Sadak over and around. Spotted. 1. Sassy dropped. Sadak now, but time surely working against in the jump spot. The jiggle, John QT trying to gamble and dice with Dev himself here all the way through. That is immaculately played.
John with another clutch. So similar to his situation on Split where we saw him play against Kawazine and Les. Beautifully done there. But I do think overall, SEN are giving Loud way too much space in these post plans. If Zelsis hadn't been able to get those 2 kills and open things up, I think SEN might have been in trouble again. Yeah. Most teams when they play against the Harbor Viper,
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
They're trying to get aggressive in post-plant situations
Let's
to
go,
stop them
let's
before
go.
they get into retake spots.
Let's go, boys.
SEN are backing off and trying to play post-plant utility. But if they can secure this round, it's looking good. Double orb, QCK and Cow unseen.
Kidding me. You are kidding me. Top of the rafters. QCK is obviously on the other side of the map, just trying to lock down at B angle, but the lockdown now indicates everything. Or at least it should.
Another problem with this composition, you have no way. Of dealing with the lockdown. You don't have molly lineups.
Now no detainment. Fast with the high tide. Cuts this one up. Mosh pit into the back now. This time SEN fighting too. And nail! But you're up against Cowards in John QT. Where's he pulled that one from? Out of nowhere! Another on the ropes, the pit has been earned. 88 health to his name. He just needs to survive the spray down, and he's already hunting him down. Bliss, with him toppling, Ace on the cars. The crowd wants it. The people are chanting. QCK spotted out wide. Will his team give him anything? Not quite. Still, a round earned, a round gained, and SEN will be happy with that. That's a salvage situation when his heart was looking so damn poor.
And round 11, round 12, the player to salvage it is John. What a beautiful spray transfer there. And then getting the third on the rope too. All coming off the back of winning the 1v1 clutch. To get SEN up to 4, well, he's done it to get him to 5.
That's crazy stuff. Honestly, a really competitive map overall. I believe we've got a special guest down on the floor as well. Let's send it down for an interview.
Hey guys, I am here right now with Coriana. Coriana, what's up? How are you liking Masters Madrid?
Masters Madrid is awesome. I mean, I'm really cheering for Loud. I arrived 2 days ago and I'm enjoying the city.
Of course, right? And how do you feel about this rematch? What are you expecting from Loud?
Sentinels is a very strong team. They beat us on VCT Americas, so I'm hoping for a really close match. We weren't able to show our game on the first map, but we are trying our best on the second one.
Of course, excited for that comeback. Now, what's this I hear that you bought every single VCT bundle? Is that correct?
Yes, is that true?
Oh my gosh. Okay, now I have to ask you, what's your top 3? And you can't say Loud.
Okay, I really like Talon,
Talon?
G2, and also Cloud9 one.
Oh, okay. That's a healthy representation. I like those picks. Now, last but not least, can you give a quick shout out to the fans? Maybe get them to buy some Loud bundles. How about that?
Yeah, sure. First of all, buy Loud bundle. And thank you guys for cheering for Loud. It's a close match. We are top 4. Last Masters, we weren't really great, but I hope this one we can get the title.
All right, you heard it from Coriana. Let's get back into the game and let's get loud.
Bundles, man. I mean, I will say about Loud, they do have one of the only, like, you know, proper green bundles, if you like the color green. So they, you know, they got that going for them.
If you're a fan of green, any eco-friendly people out there?
Yeah. I mean, money, other substances that we won't mention. If you're a fan of any of that, listen, maybe the Loud bundle. But listen, 7-5. Important pistol round coming up.
Yeah, a very. Honestly, a huge one. And SEN have won every pistol so far in this series. So if they're able to get another one on the board here, that's just been such a phenomenal advantage for them to work with the entire time. Les, he's picked up a Sheriff. Loud are one of the teams that buy Sheriffs the most in these pistol situations. Often there's 2 players on the team with them.
Just trying to take those long-range fights, Celsius. In prior rounds, teammates dancing and dicing with death, but with that jiggle, Always a chance, isn't it, that it goes poorly. He's going to be backing his way up to kitchen.
The re-clear here from Sassy and Zekken. They had a cascade in their face early on, and now they've realized that that was fake pressure. A good gamble to take. And they've got a little bait and switch set up here. Kind of blocked by the wall, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's no going to be any swings coming out for here. Sassy needs to get one, but yeah, like I said, no trade in sight. Zekken, dash, activated.
Yeah, that's just wasted. And he was expecting more pace towards that. Sadak's called that pause in the round.
And holding for a repush.
Yeah, I mean, Zekken's already re-cleared this area once in the round. Loud are ready for it.
Zekken's now going to be pushed into this one and done angle. Now that the dash that we talking about prior is gone. Loud, we're going to have to clear this one. Bodies might do it. Surely, Ghost moment, not getting away with too much more still. 1 for 1. Drop down, Zelsis. Taking up space back towards the backside of Yellow. Might need some supportive util though, and TenZ is the one holding it. So, flash, re-peak, timing, needs it now, needs help right now, and he's got it. The follow through from the rest of them. Those reinforcements, jump, spot, and peek. Less, he's taking them all out. 7 seconds remaining. Molly has to stick it through here for Sadak with that plan. It's the only way, he goes down to it. And it leaves it just up to Less. 1 versus 1. Viper versus Viper.
They should know that Less is this week. This Sentinels Classic could do work here.
Time to put it to the test. A lot to clear though for John QT. Thankfully, he's got a bit of time on his side. Contacting, spots it. That's now going to be dropping. Orb propped up. How does John choose to play it? Here's those shots. Spots it out on the right click business. Done and dusted. Wipe your hands of that one. Pistol round here for Sentinels.
Did not look good for them at the beginning of this round.
Did not.
And Zelsis has pulled it back with some great supportive utility coming through from TenZ. SEN really abusing the slower pace of Loud there. Loud had multiple opportunities in the round where they could have gone forwards as a team and cleared out a solo player on B. Because they took so long dealing with Zekken, and I mean this util also perfection. Putting pressure on the clock. But yeah, because they took so long dealing with Zekken, that allowed Zelsis to tuck into Yellow.
Nice!
And like I said, Bren, this is 4 out of 4 pistols, 1 for Sentinels. And this is going to get them back into this map. It's an enormous advantage, especially because it offers you opportunities to keep that momentum going with a bonus.
Clear ideas. Very clear ideas. I mean, here, Zekken, Outlaw. Sees the jump, spots, just baited out for the shot wide, and QCK just didn't really realize that he was already pushed up on that left-hand side, so he's earned himself an upgrade.
Yeah, nobody for Zekken to play off. That's a really bold angle. He was expecting Loud to be playing more slowly.
Sadak not willing to give away his life to the Molly once more for the plan, so but that util out.
2 of these players will die to a one-shot from the Outlaw.
They're not watching for it. Over the top there, that's the Ghost gameplay occurring right now. Out wide, TenZ seeking to reclaim a bit of that territory, a bit of that ground, and he has slowed it down enough for the spike to be dropped down, but it is a 2 versus 3. This is the danger zone right now. The verge of getting thriftied. Like you said, a single shot will do it. You've essentially handed over the operator to QCK.
Yeah. It looks like a save, to be honest, but they're still going to try and fight over it. Wow. There are still opportunities and danger here.
You slipped them up.
TenZ is making an enormous wraparound unless it's gone into Snowman. This is such a bizarre round.
And John QT's backs to the wall, all about the timing. No way! As Lesser finds it. And the gamble, the wraparound here of TenZ has to pay off. It has to pay off massively, but it's not going to be planted out wide. Less does even acknowledge it. The reload is heard here. Close. Quarters again. Cuts it up into the angle. 1 versus 1, but it really should never have been here in the first place. Knife tags it. Knows the rock positioning as the wall fades. The head is collected.
That is a crucial one for TenZ to win. What a play. I mean, both Less and TenZ getting value out of the play that they went for. But for TenZ to go for that flank all the way through mid, wrapping back around quietly the whole time, and not have clock pressure because of John being able to deny the plant, and the spike went walkabouts into Snowman. Could not have gone better, the timing in that round for TenZ.
Oh, nice headshot!
And despite SEN winning that follow-up round, it was really expensive. Yes, they carried a 1 rifle through, but they're opting to just take a full eco.
Nice! Yeah.
Nice.
And so, a really bizarre start to this half. SEN win the pistol. You expect them to get up the momentum that they have done on every other half that we've watched so far. And instead, they're taking an eco after winning the round.
That needs to be dealt with here. What a snap to the side. QCK deleted off the face of the map. It is responded in kind here. Sadak but cheeky there with the peaks over the top here. Just trying to play on top of 410. Drops down the Nana Swarms, making sure that nobody can play forwards. He does have the spike. Let's get his plan down.
A little bit of damage done, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Love that Cove too. You can plant in a number of positions where it's very helpful. And Lauda looking to try to play a little further forwards than we saw from the post plants of Sentinels. You know, fighting on top of 410 with 2Es ready to swing. They've got 2 layers to this, really.
Oh, deactivated. Nice cooldown. A lot of util offloaded from SEN just to try and clear that back of the side. But again, time is of the essence, and with the Nanoswarm deaded already, it's running out wildly.
Nice,
Not a luxury they have whatsoever.
Yo.
No one's even forcing a tap onto the spike here. There's a gap into the wall. Tens out wide and open. Man, this is just madness. Sadak, what are you getting away with?
Shooting fish in a barrel. You can see SEN had no idea there that Sadak could see the spike. I mean, it turns red when it's being diffused. Sadak knows exactly where it's being diffused from. Boom. Headshots. And the fact that Loud were given those kills towards the end, and this has been a bit of a stretched out beginning to the half, they're building up to some big ultimates.
Yes, they are.
The Harbor ult is excellent for being able to take more aggressive control of a site. You know, if you're SEN here cooking up a game plan, I think you want to be going for like flash reclears to disrupt this before the big execute comes through. Maybe that's what SEN are planning with both of the flash initiators and Zekken playing A. But at the moment, 2Es heading B for that classic cascade at the start of the round.
Early turret broken. Now Loud regrouping over towards A.
And this is where I'd love to see Zekken posted up on pipes and trying to get some kind of flash aggression going. Because I think if you give space to Loud, this execute is going to be difficult to hold on against.
Drone going to be hurt. One tag down to Sassy, backs him away. Top belts seen and spotted. Dash to get himself out of there. Reckoning now will clear the way through for the rest of Loud to follow all the way through. Stuns, not really being respected. I mean, Zekken is just trying to really get the most out of it there, and he is finally punished. So, no command, fast, off the rip, pushing forward. So they're going to expect this. QCK is already behind the man, already behind him, playing up with the rest of his team. And 3 players fall just like that, dropped to the ground, to your knees, if you are Tens in this case, and Zelsis, poor Zelsis. 1v4, last one left. Decision being made for him, really. Has to be the save, just has to do some exit damage, but even economical damage doesn't do that much.
No, it doesn't. I mean, Loud are building up a nice economy. They've got a great game plan, and SEN are not playing disruptively enough. Loud are just getting to play their own tempo, their pace. They could never really get a grapple on that on split. They were always trying to force fights in mid, and SEN were never letting them. That time, the patience and the slow play really rewarded SEN. And on this map, I feel like they need to be getting a little more up in Loud's face, trying to utilize the strengths of this composition, which are the flashes to go for those mid-round reclear timings. But when Loud are given space, you see how difficult it was, though Zekken tried for him to get a timing around the Harbor ult there. And then when Loud are set up in these aggressive post-plant spots, their players, they can shoot, man. Yeah. They can shoot. The buy in this round, very similar to round 15. You know, everyone on pistols apart from one player with a rifle.
So with the money chunked down, in theory, you're expecting Loud again to just keep stringing these rounds together. The danger starts building. Hello.
Nice.
Through the wall just in case, but Dash to respect it. But the trouble is here, I mean, Loud, you got to think, going to be probably able to get themselves a plan.
Only Zekken's seen both times, even though there's a stack here.
There's a flash repeat as well with a Dizzy, but the wall in their face as well. It just gives that covering fire for Sadak.
Quality.
Through, not too sure how that kill was found. Sadak, at least Sassy with this reposition. Close now, tries to face it. Again, there's just too many numbers to overcome. The advantage is Loud here. I mean, they've just picked them apart. It's methodical in nature. As I was saying earlier, I mean, it earns them up to a couple of key ultimates. Lockdown now for Sadak to use for the next.
Yeah. And sometimes it can be such flowchart Valorant on this map.
Yeah.
Because if the defenders can't get in a good position to disrupt what you're doing, we saw it from Fnatic when they dominated this map, you know, in times gone by. But the attack side, you have the opportunity to go and take a little bit of space and use big ults like Sadak's Lockdown to really give yourself a free post-plant situation. And that's where you need to see SEN fighting a little more for some space. I think this is another round where the same concept applies. Sentinels are going to take a timeout here, and Zeken's already picked up the operator. Still got, you know, time to get rid of it if it doesn't fit the game plan that they want to go towards. But I think getting Zeken posted up in some aggressive areas would be decent, but it's also kind of difficult to go for any mid-round re-aggression with an operator. It's more that you take a line at the start of the round or something like that. It's certainly possible, but you know, there's two key areas, if you're thinking from Sentinel's perspective here, that Sadak would want to be using the ult. One is over towards B main, and the other is over towards pipes. And so having some setups that could deal with those, yeah, might end up being really crucial.
Just trying to think one step ahead, right?
Yeah, yeah. And of course, you know, Sadak, he's a good enough IGL that coming out of a timeout like this, he might decide not to use an ult play whatsoever from the strat book. And he might just send it with, like, I don't know, 3 players pushing mid or something. You know, really to just try to mess with what SEN are expecting.
Right here.
So we're going to see Recon deep with the Cascade to try to push away anybody that might be playing aggressive over towards B, and that is where Zeken's got the operator.
Look at how hard this is for Zeken to get value with the operator. I mean, he smokes in his face. QCK, he's already pushed up onto the left-hand approach.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
You can't watch everything at once.
The Cascade now over towards A might give Zeken the idea that, you know, only the Lurker is here, so he could be a bit more bold with it. I believe Sadak was just caught by the knife. No, I don't think he was, actually. So he's going to be able to get this lockdown off.
Spike's dropped down in mid. Trying to fake presence here, except the 3 players right behind him is going to feel very real. Still Zeken, will he be dislodged from this forward position? He's the one who's going to be trying to gather this information. Does it call the gamble?
Allowed overcooking this a little? Using the lockdown for the fake when they have the full A site?
It's if Zeken really, it's on him, because the Loud players are now going to be walking and waiting right into that crosshair. Dart forward, misses the shot. Now he has to really just use those smokes to evacuate and escape the ire of Loud. They're already fast onto the approach, but
they're
back away. They're going back to A.
Sadak's like, guys, there's no one here.
Look at this guy, look at the position. You practically expect him to be a defender with this spot.
30 seconds
Forwards
left.
though with the smokes. Elsis can't adjust it, can't snap to it. QCK drops him. And this is real chaos and pandemonium being strewn into the round. You don't expect this. Patience played all the way through. Thrash out wide, and they're just shooting bullets. It's easy targets all about. Boundless right now for Les. The rest of his crew.
10 seconds left.
With the free plants.
Spike
And
planted.
there's nothing you can do, not with the retake to the operator.
Yeah, not unless Zeken's able to get a freebie in a situation like that. It just looks very difficult from Sentinel's perspective for them to get any kind of foothold in a round like this one. So I certainly don't think the round was game planned like that, right? It looked like it was intended to be an A fake that you end up hitting B. But the audible call, as Sadak just realized that he had all the space in the world.
I can't believe it. I mean, how did he get himself up there?
Yeah, I mean, he just wandered in.
Top left rafters.
He wandered in, takes the rope, jumps onto rafters.
Yeah.
He's got a great spot. But also, SEN unaware that a lurker could have taken that positioning, right? Tens walks through, Sassy's using Thrash. They don't think about, are they ending A here because there's a lurker giving them that info?
Just let them try to catch me.
And Loud, they are pulling away. Looking better here on
30
Icebox.
seconds left.
Which is really good to see, because Split was unbelievably one-sided. But of course, you've got to look and frame this in context. This is probably the second worst map that SEN have in their pool.
Yeah, they don't have many of them, do they?
No.
Slipping through the cracks here.
So, you know, for them to still be keeping it somewhat competitive, not bad.
It's not bad at all. For Loud, got a sight set though on his next few rounds. Make sure they can lock this map up. Easy peasy. Now for Sentinels, they've had to really be forced into a purchase around the 2 guns that they have saved. So it's just Guardians online, or at least for Zelsis. Presence now towards it. One more earned towards the Reckoning.
This is where Zekken was positioned in the previous round. He's got the operator over on A.
Clear. Just with the dizzy, there's really nothing else behind it. No flash re-clear. Just the one bit of util, and it was broken almost immediately with the slow down approach, John.
Yeah, at least they're trying to find the timings to go for that kind of thing, but just throwing the single dizzy, it doesn't have the same impact. It's worse than a single flash from the KO, honestly. And Loud are just keeping all of this presence over towards B, and Zekken is still worried about a lurker on A.
There's that prior conditioning here with 40 seconds left. Plant's gonna have to go down at some point. Drone.
Throwing the nade lineup so that they can still fight with the nade.
Hello, pop flash play, TenZ. He's still alive here, got his one, but 2 years also returned with the fire now. Feeling the heat, feeling the emphasis that he needs to make a play here. That's why he's going wide, dodge. Side there, away from the shutdown. Mosh pit, dissuading it, pushing back this one, but he doesn't expect the player above him. And around the back. Oh! What an adjustment! Flicks it aside, luckily 2 years still there. Not a reckoning. Drop down with only 12 seconds left. There's no plan online. They're stunned. Here, up and away. Updraft all round. And Sentinels.
Wow.
They grasp it in the midst of all of that.
That's wild. The defense utility, though, was so much better this round than what we've been seeing so far. So TenZ throws a nade lineup as he hears the drone coming through, which allows him to have denial of the plant pressure at the same time as flashing through the wall, which is sick. Those kind of timings, beautiful. It's also then, there's a mosh onto the plant position too. Let's go! Let's go, boys! So much utility pressure in that round. A lot better from what we've been seeing. And it's stumped Loud.
Yeah. Sentinel's not wanting to go down quietly here. Dart dealt with.
A little bit of miscommunication there. Zekken wasn't sure that it was going to get broken, that TenZ could see it.
Knife, re-tagged.
This is the first time we've seen someone trying to play an aggressive position on pipes.
Should give the indicator. I mean, TenZ has no way to get out of this one. There's too many spots to really account for. And well, forward! It's messy. It's real damn messy. Luckily, Zekken is still here and collects. With 2 on the board now, maybe a chance for Sentinel to really setting themselves up in an advantage position. It's been one of the first times. Yet Sadak says, not quite. He does something to say about it. Does bring it into a 3v3 now with that util finally respected. Sadak pushed away once more, and it's about bleeding it out. Another tap online this time. In the wingman, Dizzy over the top. Zekken back into the fight. Hello. Just not quite seeing that one over the top below him. Does not anticipate it, but guess what? His teammates did. Swinging at precisely the right moments.
Oh,
so they're not out of it just yet. Not a long shot.
No, these last 2 rounds have been lovely from SEN. If they keep playing like this, there are certainly chances for them here.
Wow.
You see this from Zekken's perspective again. Hit 2 great shots there. But also, the defensive utility is lovely. They're throwing great util to stop the plant going down, and then they're finding a timing to then flash and pop back out to re-fight Loud. When Loud don't really have utility available. Sadak anticipated it, fell back, but they didn't win the duels. This is aggressive.
Yeah, time to show some disrespect, and he does get the value from it.
Sadak playing that spot way more aggressively than Zelsis was too, offering himself up as a pick. Kawanzin gets ult online. Can they cook some kind of play based off the Hunter's Fury? I think it's going to be difficult, especially when TenZ is holding knife for anything like that.
And for Loud, I mean, you can feel they're trying to bait out these aggressive re-clears.
Yep.
Just why, you know, the pump fake, waiting, throwing out a high tide, seeing if they flash through the wall and try and fight through it, but...
Yeah, you've got to make the timings as difficult as possible for SEN to find them. 1 second.
So much exposed. To watch. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen it. He is exposed, though. You are right. Many chances for him to be swung from a multitude of angles. It's all about the reactions. Now, yes, he still has a dash, but it's not active. Here he goes. Dart has to cover himself. His own footsteps there away from it. Go for the re-swing now across. He saws him over the rope, but he couldn't adjust the aim in time. Zelsis spamming and spraying and a bit of praying. Let's get the job done there with the removal onto 2 years. Kawanzin, though, will not be pushed back and away. And QCK is his time to come alive. Over the top of rafters. Risks necessary in this spot, especially when you're a player down.
The pit invested in a 3v4 here.
That's dirty.
It does cover the spike.
Yeah, look at that. Stretches all the way over towards it, and he still has 2 snake bites as well. That will put the time pressure now onto Sentinels. This could be the 12th round for Loud. It's about how they navigate it. It's about how they sail through. A tap forwards now. What is the next wave of things? QCK traded. Now sticking though, already there. That's going to be the wingman, putting that pressure onto a Hunter's Fury. Skipping a hop over to the top. And well, it's just been stuck in the middle of all of it.
That's incredible! Dude, Wingman does not take additional damage from the pit being there, and they just assumed that it did. They didn't deal with Wingman the entire time. When you're dealing with a player, the combination of pit and the vulnerable is just devastating. You can do nothing about that. But the Wingman, he doesn't care about it.
Yeah, he is.
Look at him.
He is no man. He does not care.
Bro. Sliggy losing his mind.
Nice!
Oh my goodness.
Keep guns. Off back rafter if you can get it. Actually, no, it's not.
Calm and collected though. We're straight back into things here, but Sen wrestling off the rounds now, really making it almost even here. One step away from 11 to 11.
And yeah, Sen's ult bank is just huge. They found so much more value out of being able to hide the plant and then getting off a good retake there. Perhaps with a little bit of luck involved too, but they got themselves a player advantage beforehand anyway. Zeken's been spotted. What does that do to Sadak's calling here?
Try and speed it up, or do you want to go in a different direction? It looks like they want to just try and tackle it into A. Now, Zeken didn't use his dash again. Important to note that one, because now as that U2 goes flying, still he's looking for the shot, can't adjust it. Time still just sees the shoulder, but has to finally back away. Doesn't want to get punished for that one, but the count to spam a tap from Sadak. Get himself into the cove, lockdown.
Love that. Early timing on the lockdown stops Loud from setting up to break it. And it's also not positioned over towards screens. Yes, it doesn't go as deep, but Zelsis is going to make sure that there aren't people playing these aggressive post-plant positions.
Throws them out and away. They deal with the util, and how do they deal with these players? Zeken just wants to take up the straight-up fight, attack. Baiting it out now, Nade, a bit short and shy off the mark there. Still damage is being done to a multitude of players. Only 3 left standing for Loud, but again, anyone could win it. You just have to just rely on a bit of that RNG. Zek, Tens, pushing with the operator. Sadak still stands. Have on it, they don't have it. Still, John has got to stick it now. And a tap with the rifle, or praise. Praying from 2 years. Sentinels, barely there with 2 seconds just over.
They look in control, though, of these retake situations, which is something that we weren't seeing from them in those spree of 4 rounds between 15 and 18 that Loud got online. And the lockdown is so nice from Zelsis. Teams have come up with protocols to be able to deal with the lockdown that's over towards screens. They have a player up aggressive, or they have some kind of, nade combo. Sadak has lineups for it, too. But throwing that out in a different position over towards Heaven, and yeah, it's not optimized, but it's not going to get broken. You know they're not in aggressive positions, so you can start the retake proper. We've seen round 19-20, Sentinels won by dragging the clock down and putting a lot of pressure on the plant itself and put Loud in a tough spot. Now they've also demonstrated in round 21 and 22 that their retakes can look really good as well, especially when it's held with ultimates. This is now anybody's game. It felt like it was Loud's completely until this streak of 4. Can't count Sen out.
No, you can't. We were singing the praises of Louder there. International experience, adjusted on the big stage. Can't count this team out with how they were looking just initially, but you're right. I mean, Sentinels, they've also been slowly building up a repertoire. Their CV's looking long. Bringing it to a team like Loud, 11 to 11. Still with the Viper's Pit, still with a Thrash.
And all of this without Zeken really finding too much value from the operator in the last couple of rounds, right? He's trying to take the timings and he's finding good openings, but he's not landing the shots. Here it looks like he wants to try and take this timing instantly underneath the tube, aiming for less.
Drops down, only sees the turret.
Missed the turret, actually.
Did, yeah. A drone, utilized by Loud, though. It's going to be pushing up and taking this space for the lockdown. Feels like a B hit. Should be a B hit. Second. Where are you going? Where are you going? With 4 seconds left, is this being held for? Yes. Look at that awareness. Jump spot, jiggle peek. Holy! Updraft dash, but he cannot escape it. Sadak was hot on the heels. Set to punish it. Deep dart now. Thrash being used just off the initial tap here, but doesn't really spot anything at all. In fact, no detainments because QCK, again, lurking up through. Spots it out with a nano swarms. Broken, both of them.
Celsius has the timing to try to disrupt this.
But Les gets dropped.
So now it's going to be a 4v4.
Backside gained. Plan for Sadak. Not going to be pushed away this time. Moshpit just a little bit too delayed and late. This is going to be setting themselves up potentially in a favored counter here with the retake of Sentinels. Jump spot, just seeing, but he does back away. So now with the alarm bot, bit of spam, bit of spray. It's pop flash play. Tens, man! He's taking it to him. Damage done though. Had the knife out. Wasn't expecting that follow-up, especially with 2 years there. But what can he really do in this spot? B3. You have to find one of the fights, and Zelsis isn't keen on giving him it. Now Sassy sticking, half already. Options dwindling. It's a high-low face. And that is up to 12 now for Sentinels. This is an absolutely incredible resurgence from this team on this map in particular. I mean, they're looking to seal this one up in 2.
I think Loud played a great round there as well, and the Sen retake was too much for them. 3 rounds in a row now. The flash to be able to catch QCK is lovely, and then Sen players playing high-low positions.
I love it. Even if it didn't work, I love that you wanted to.
Yeah, it's great.
Communication just on point. Every time we get a little sneak peek at the replays.
Yeah, and Sen 5 rounds in a row to be able to get up to match point and set up a date with Gen G.
Aggressive. Here it is. Adjustment not there in time. He just tried to flick to the side. It was actually Tens who was the one who went down there to a bit of random spam. Updraft and away. Back in. Got to respect now at a reckoning.
It's incredible that Sen are winning these rounds while the early fights are going so terribly for them.
Sadak with the plan. Not gonna be pushed back. You got to think now. Loud, again, surely set up for success. But I said that last time. It was Sen who ended up taking it, but this time there's a player disadvantage. Doubled up, shoulder to shoulder, round to the back. 2 years showing presence. A little jiggle and offset there with a movement, but not gonna expect Kawazine. And he's still here, alive and kicking. Weaving in and out, dodging, juking, playing with his team, spraying them all the way through overtime on the cards.
Finally, Loud able to get that round that's been eluding them for so long. And we're treated to an overtime. Huge performance from Loud, not allowing their resolve to crumble. A reminder, we've obviously never had that 2-0 between these teams this year. We've had more back and forth occurrences. That little resurgence from Sen has taken us to a spot where it does look like a possibility, unless Loud can dig deep.
Yeah, revisiting it. Of course, it was Loud, you know, they won that one 2-0 in their initial matchup in 2024. Fought back immediately by Sen in the finals where they took it an absolute barn burn. I mean, it was a map 5 world-class game from both of these teams. Pushed once more.
Revealing area.
Dart. Broken. QCK forwards position as the sides are switched around. We know he's been getting aggressive. The question is, Sen gonna pushed away from this now to Dizzy. Didn't even really connect him. He was so close to the corner, but he doesn't land the shot, so backs away. Showing presence there with the operator. He wants a second go at things. Sassy, not expecting it. The rest allowed, backing him up still. It's sprayed and messy. It's all over the bloody place. 2 have to stand here from Sentinels.
Going to be a difficult situation for John and Celsius to recover. Do they know that everybody is here? I'm not sure they've seen Sadak.
Who will win? Who
John
will win?
picking up that
Who
ult,
will win?
1 away from getting a pit online. If there was an ult that could turn this round, it would be that one. They've got to be concerned about the wall. Les can drop it at any point to try to set up the double face.
Lord or Sen?
Doubled up side by side, top rafters, 2 years.
Lord or Sen? Lord or Sen?
4-1 to win was Elsis dropping.
Who will win?
Sends the nade flying, the molly there. Just can't quite land the kill. He now has pit. He does have the pit, but does he choose to offload it? Of course he does. It's OT. And now drops it down. Evacuating the one angle, but over the top of the ropes. Doesn't expect 2 years.
Good try, nice catch by Tui's. John was thinking about just slipping away.
Match point.
But Loud, after getting that recovery in round 24, now put themselves up to map point. QCK going for the force buy. The glass cannon operator ended up getting some of that value. You can see John looks gutted. He wasn't able to pull that one off. So we're going into it. Sen kept at 12. Zekken is going for the same thing, the glass cannon op. They have not found success with this particularly. But they've been winning anyway. A lot of those defensive rounds towards the end.
I know Loud, they set their sights over towards B. Ah, that's no way. The spam.
Very
Nearly
close.
tagging him up, draft over the top. That's QCK. Wonderful punish onto the corner. Even more where that came from. As the rest of his team, this is it. Set up for success. Set up for map 3. And you got to think it's inevitable on top of the ropes. How is he accurate there? Running and gunning, but TenZ dealt with. Dropped. And a retake with the op. It's a fairy tale moment for Zekken, it will have to be, and he doesn't expect it. They're up there, so 14-12, Loud. We are going all the way. Up. Oh, that's no way. The spam.
Very
Nearly
close.
tagging him up, draft over the top, that's QCK. Wonderful punish onto the corner. Even more where that came from. As the rest of his team, this is it. Set up for success. Set up for map 3. And you got to think it's inevitable on top of the ropes. How is he accurate there? Running and gunning, but TenZ dealt with. Dropped. And a retake with the op. It's a fairy tale moment for Zekken, it will have to be, and he doesn't expect it. They're up there, so 14-12, Loud. We are going all the way.
It deserves a map 3 this series, but for a moment I thought SEN were going to clean it out in 2. The comeback there was difficult for Loud to deal with, but they found the adjustment in the final moment. Huge from Sadak and the rest of the crew. And I think QCK played a blinder of the game there on Jet, putting the doubters to bed.
Absolutely. I mean,
set up for a good one.
It is set up for a good one. Sunset will be the decider, and what a map to end on for both of these teams. It's bound to be magical, so do not go anywhere.
Listen up, says my teacher. In front of the class, he says if you're not a believer, views, that's on you. Better shape up and pay your dues. Of my views, that's on you. I'll be on a flight soon to the end. I sing you. Gotta know all this propaganda. How do you do? Better get it in my own medicine for you. Never gonna make them think I'll stand there. For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. And I don't know that lose. Don't mind if I do. For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. And I don't know that lose. Don't mind if I do.
SEN better. SEN for the win. SEN for the win.
Like the fire you'll soon remember. Ooh. I'll be in the fleece until the end. I'm singing. Ooh. Gotta know all this propaganda. How do you
add this one to the collection, because just individually this time and time again, in the right place, the right time, and he delivers. Back against the wall, it could be a 1v3, he could be solo anchor in sides. He's just constantly delivering for Loud.
Yeah, that's the thing that really stuck with me, right? How good he is at getting a kill as anchor and always getting away.
Yeah.
It's insane how much just survivability the man has, especially when he's holding down towards that B side. He's always getting a frag, falling back, and then using his mollies really tactically to be able to set his teammates up when they're playing into these retake rounds. He's such a star, and he implements into the team perfectly.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Sunset real quick, because these are the agents selects for that. What do you make of this, Mike?
Well, back